Welcome to week 3, lesson 6 of the Store Manager Academy. We're going to talk about some advanced sales strategies for your floor people, for your salespeople that are going to help you be more profitable. I've received numerous requests to really expand on the sales floor training we had in week 2. And so I wanted to share some of the training that I've received throughout my career that has helped me be very successful. And the training that I've taught hundreds of people to actually implement, and their stores have been very successful through it. But I don't want to overcomplicate the process because people tend to overcomplicate selling. When it comes down to it, selling is just a form of communication. It's connecting with that customer. It's building trust with that customer where they look to you as that authority, look to your team as that authority, look to your store as a brand that they can trust, where they'll go and make purchase from you without even thinking about other retailers because they trust your brand, they trust you, they trust your team. And that's really what that's where you want to get your store. That's where you want to be as a store. So for those new managers that are listening to this or watching this training, you've got to understand the basics, communication styles, communication skills. You need to understand just creating that unique in-store experience that customers really enjoy to visit your store because of it. Simple things like that are going to help the selling process. But I'm going to talk about some advanced strategies that are, again, basic and simple, but they are more advanced than what we discussed in the prior module. And I'll just do it step by step with you. So first things first, your team has to ask background questions. What is the customer's present situation? So if they came in to buy a new TV, for example, okay, ask a couple background questions. What brought you in today? I'm looking for a TV. Okay, great. What's the reason that you need a new TV? Well, mine went out, or I'm just looking for an extra one for my bathroom or kitchen. Those are some background questions. Then you ask some problem awareness questions about their past history. So, if their TV broke, well, what kind of TV did you have? Maybe they had an old style tube TV, right? Or maybe they had plasma and they're looking to upgrade to 4K or OLED, whatever it may be. So those are problem awareness questions. You just need to ask a couple background questions, a couple problem awareness questions. This helps you build that dialogue, which helps you do what? Build trust with that customer. Next, you want to move into some solution questions, such as what would they do to change their current situation if they could? Involve their ideas, let their own problems, set in emotionally, let them talk about it. So, hey, if that plasma TV you only had for, 4 or 5 years and it just went out on you and you found out the repair was more expensive than just buying a new TV, what do you think would be a good technology to upgrade to since plasma didn't work for you? Well, I hear that LED's good. Okay, great. What have you heard about LED? And then let them open up that dialogue. Well, have you heard about 4K? Have you heard about OLED? And so that's where you start asking those questions. And if you could switch to OLED or 4K, if you found out it didn't cost a lot, how do you think that could help you? Do you think that would be a benefit to you? So those are those solutions questions. If they could change it, what would it be? Involve them in that process. Let them do all the talking. Next, you move into consequence questions. What's prevented you in the past from changing your situation? Maybe we'll go back to the broken plasma TV. So, up to before it broke, what's prevented you from upgrading in the past? Well, I've dealt with the bad color for a while, and I know this TV cost me, $9,000 when I bought it a few years ago, and so the price is really what's prevented me. Great. I see how you're just really digging in, you're peeling back the onion. I use that analogy a lot. It works. Find out what's prevented them, and then help them discover what if they don't if they don't upgrade to a better technology, how would that affect their purchase down the road? Then you need to ask some qualifying questions. Not qualifying if they can afford the new technology, not that necessarily, that's part of the qualification, but why is it important for them to change their current situation? So how important is it for you, John, to get a TV that's going to last more than 5 to 7 years? How important is it for you to get the best picture possible? How important is it to you to get the best sound quality? Those are qualifying questions. What is important to them? Are you telling them what's important? No, your team should not say, this is the best technology, this is why it's important, this is why you should have it. No, you need to ask why it's important to that consumer. That's how you build up that trust. That's how you continue the dialogue and getting them through that commitment process where at the end they buy from you. Now, you're going to move into some transition questions after you've qualified, after you've asked why it's important for them to change their situation. And this is where you use that information, this is where your team uses that information that they just learned through this whole process. This is where they start transitioning into committing and closing the customer. So you can simple things like, based on what you told me, John, what we have here might actually work for you, and here's why. You know how you said, the price was really high on plasma, and that's why, you haven't upgraded yet, or how you said that, you're looking for something that's more reliable, and because of that, this is where you tie in an emotional thing. You've really just suffered through having just bad TV picture for the last 2 years. Well, this is what we do. This is how we can fix this problem for you. Does that make sense? That's how you move into that transition. You go into what they told you, logical problems, you tie in their emotion, this is what you said, this is how it made you feel, and this is what we do, briefly describe the benefits, advantages of the solutions for their problem. And then you kind of close that into going into your closing questions by, does that feel as what you're does this feel as if it might be what you're looking for, John? Are you telling them this is what you're looking for? That's what old sales gurus do, right? This is the old sales professionals. This is what you're looking for. This is what you need. You turn that around to the customer and ask them, does this feel like it's what you're looking for? And that's when you go into your actual closing. Well, John, I don't really have much to go over with you. Seems we've covered everything and what you're looking for. Really, these would be the next steps. So how appropriate would that be for you? Do you feel, or even ask them, what do you think we should do from here? Do you want to buy this, or how do you think we should proceed from here? Don't tell them that don't say, do you want black or do you want red? That's old closing styles. The alternative choice style close, you don't use those anymore. I know it goes against what you've learned in the past, but throw it back into their court. Put the ball in their court. How would you like to proceed from here? Well, I guess I need to buy the 4K. When can you deliver? Do you offer installation? Do you think I need a wall mount? Do you think it has enough sound, or what? Do you see where that went? So again, we're gonna go through the process. Background questions, problem awareness questions, solution questions, consequence questions, qualifying questions, transition questions, and then the commitment, the close. And it's all in the customer's court. They are the ones that are telling you their problems. They're the ones that are telling you what they need and what they want and why it's important to them and when they want it. You just got to open up that dialogue through this communication process, this dialogue framework. It's that simple. Don't overcomplicate it. You've just got to go through that framework, that dialogue. You can't skip steps through this process. Really, it starts with connecting with the customer, asking background questions, finding the problems they're having in their past history and how it's affecting their purchase right now. Talk about solution questions. If they would change it today, what would that do and how would it look for them? How it affects them emotionally, and so on and so forth. Go through this dialogue framework with your team and you will be a lot more successful. I hope this advanced sales training really opens up your sales floor and opens up some ideas on how you can improve your sales team's methods, and just implement this with what you're doing already and you'll be a lot more successful. Thanks for watching this training. I look forward to seeing you on the next module. Thank you.